Welcome back. You join me as I walk from my place of work across the 5.5 miles, the long way home, going around the edge of the town, through two villages, and then to my house. Hopefully this is a better endeavour than my previous video. During my walk I encounter a couple of calamities, one being incredibly strong winds and the other is falling over a slippery bridge. So enjoy. Whilst walking down this road in the industrial estate, I did notice that I had not brought any food with me. Luckily there is a Lidl that is just around the corner, so I made my way there to grab lunch. I won't drink, it's just whilst I was in the shop I thought I'd grab myself some beef jerky and a chicken sandwich for the road. I haven't had any lunch yet, so we'll see how that goes, but should be fine. Just entered the embankment. It's relatively quiet here today. Yeah, so the idea is to walk along the valley floor, following the river until I get to the nature reserve, and then cutting through the fields to get up to a village called Great Doddington. Yeah, we'll see how far I go. I have high hopes, but it has been raining, so I'm thinking it might be a little bit sketchy at times, which will make an interesting video for you to watch. See, I'm wearing a far better jacket than I was on my other walk. I've got my proper hiking shoes on, and I've got some chinos on because I thought that would be a clever idea, naturally. So I basically, yeah, I've got to roll them up, or I've got to tuck them into my hiking boots when things get a bit rough. So we'll see how long that takes. Yeah. So coming to my first little bridge. It's the main road that goes into Wellingborough. This was an attempt to try and stop the mud getting too high up on my trousers. It didn't work. I'm going to fix the aspect ratio related issue that I had on my previous video. I had the phone the wrong way around. I am in the process of trying to get myself a GoPro, so that's going to give me some more consistent footage, and saying that's a little bit less intense for my phone to use. As I said, I'm not a fit person on the previous video. I'm only about 2/3 of a mile in. Yeah, my legs are caning, my feet are aching. I do apologise about not talking during this segment of the film. The floor was incredibly slippery and it was very difficult to try and do a commentary whilst not falling over. I believe I've got to follow this piece of river. I think it's about 2 miles to take me to where the cut through is for the fields. So I'm now on this little rickety bridge. Yeah, slippy turns out. Under the next bridge, this is the A45. Just did another blunder to camera. I didn't record any of what I've just said. So basically, in a nutshell, obviously you saw me falling over. I'm okay, no issues. You know, I'm in good spirits. I've just come to a lock. I think I've got to cross over it. I haven't really looked at the map, so I'm guessing I've got to get over the lock or not. I'm going to carry on going for now. You can see the lock is open at this side, but this is the low water lock. The high water lock is a bit further up. You can see the water level is totally different. So when you go out for your hike, if it's one of the first ones you do, one thing you definitely need to consider is hydration. In the winter it's not as much of a problem as you might think, but it is still a requirement. You need to take something with you, food or snacks, because if you get stuck stuck outside, or if your walk takes a bit longer than you anticipated due to unforeseen issues like this muddy path that I'm on. So that building there is H.M. Wells Prison. It was only about 3 or 4 years old, so it's not been there for very long. It's a massive complex, looking at it on Google. Right, another bridge, I better, dare I say, I've got to be careful now. So yeah, I'm just walking past the prison. Hopefully, the bird just pooed on me. Nice, beautiful. Oh, it's a little bit easier to get off this bridge. Ooh. Oh. Yep, that's incredibly slippy. Whoa. What is that big pipe? Comments down below. To be that big, I couldn't guess what it is. It could be a water pump, it could be gas mains, it could be sewage, because sometimes you do get above ground sewage pipes. As I was nearing the pipe, questions did arise about where it actually led to, on the grounds that I couldn't see it anywhere on the maps, or I couldn't see where it led to or came from. So we're leaving that to speculation. I must also apologise in advance that the wind is going to pick up once I get off this path and into the fields. It gets incredibly windy. On the bright side, my feet are still dry. They're not, my shoes are a bit muddy, but they are waterproof, which is amazing to get through all this. Oh, I'm coming to my first field. Oh, hopefully that'll be the end of the boggy, miserable, slippy mud. Okay. Here we go. Pathway. Shooting the far distance, and hopefully I'll make some good progress now, because it's taken me probably getting on for an hour just to get here. It is a bit windy. The outside's being open. I don't know how much you'll be able to hear, but I'm trying to cup my microphone in my hand to try and break the wind. Yeah. That is the village of Great Doddington. That's the start of it. So, as it turns out, I haven't got much further to walk to get to where I need to be. Which says to me, I've only got another sort of half mile to a mile of this stuff. It's quite a long village, but it means that I'll start going uphill and climbing out of this valley soon. It's going to be a bit tough going up the hill and into the village again, but man, it's been a good walk so far. So it's incredibly windy. I've got both of my hands cupped over the microphone, so hopefully you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. I just looked at the map. I'm only about a third of the way around the loop, so I'm only about 2 miles in, which is a bit of a bummer really. I thought I was a bit further across than that. There's a dip there. So basically, I'm only walking along the edge of the ridge, the bottom of the ridge. So I've got, I don't know how much further to go, to be honest, before I can turn off this and try and get somewhere that's a little bit more sheltered, because I don't know how good this audio quality is going to be, which I have to apologise in advance. Chose the wrong day to go out doing this, didn't I? I need to get a muffler on my microphone. Jesus. So I thought the road twisted to the right and went into another field. Turns out it doesn't. Just coming up to another Jack and Jill gate to get into the next field. The wind has sort of died down a little bit because I'm right next to a bush. But I suppose when I get back on the other side, it's going to be quite strong again. So, yeah, let's do this. It's not as windy, but it's... oh no, there you go. Perfect timing as per usual with me. Got another gate coming up that we've got to get through into the next field. I don't know, I thought we were going to start going up soon, but apparently not. This one goes the other way. Seen a landmark. I know exactly where I am now in terms of relation to going up the hill. Only about another quarter mile there will be a house, and that house is on the public footpath that attaches to the nature reserve. I'm on the correct side of that house, which means I can start climbing the hill very soon. So that house in the distance, that little white speck, that's where I begin my ascent up the hill. Got one more gate to get through on the valley floor, it looks like. It's quite close to the water's edge.
As I walked along the side of the water's edge, I came across this island which had a shed on it. It actually turns out to be part of someone's land.
Hint for the new hikers, looks can be very deceiving. A hill might not look like a huge amount from afar, but when you get to it and you realise how tall it is and how steep it is, you start to question yourself. But just keep putting one foot in front of the other, you'll get there in the end. Here we go. The climb begins at the base of the house, which is there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a high hill, we'll see.
As I approached the hill, I did realise it was indeed a lot steeper than it looked. I was already pretty tired by this point, and as someone who is not a particularly fit individual, this was a humongous strain on my knees and my feet. However, getting to the top did give me an incredible view of the valley below.
Yeah, it's a lot steeper than it looked. Luckily, it isn't as high as it looked. Yep, another gate. But the town is only there. So I think I've only got one more field left to go through after this one, and I'm into the village of Great Doddington. Still a little bit uphill. We're about halfway home now, long way. There's a good view from that far though. Very rewarding, that climb. Here I am at the top of the hill into the next field. And I'm pretty much in the town / village of Great Doddington. I can just about see the edge of the prison over there. Yeah, we're nearly there. I'm going to treat myself to some of my sandwich when I find somewhere to sit down. Hopefully there'll be a bench. Then I'm going to video myself eating a bit of it, as all YouTubers do when they're out in the wilderness, because naturally you need to see that. One more after this and that's it. There's the last gate, just about to see it. So, nearly there. Nearly where I can have a little bit of reprieve. Then I've got to do a little bit more cutting and zigging and zagging to get into the next bunch of fields that'll take me down to the little village of Wilby. Okay, here we go. I keep saying it's the last one, there's another one, and then possibly another one. I can't remember, it's been a long time since it's been on this bit of footpath. Yeah, so just arriving into the village. I've got one or two more things to go through, and I've got to negotiate some horses apparently. And there's the horses. Now, dare I say it, I'm actually kind of scared of them. Don't mind me, be nice to me. Oh my god. Oh crikey. It's absolute vile. Right, here we go. This is the last one. Apparently not. There's one more at the top of this road, and then we're on the main road. Yep, so here I am, Great Doddington, finally. As you can tell, the wind's a lot less intense on this path. Yeah. I am absolutely bushed. I need a break. Yeah. Some spring flowers are coming out now. We've got the snowdrops and the hyacinths are coming out. Some of the other bulbs are on the way as well. Hopefully the daffodils will be up soon. It's good to see that the spring is on its way. I am absolutely stoked to be going out hiking when it's warmer. There's an alternative path down Lower Street that I could have taken, but I really just wanted to get into town. The sign. It's not a very long road, maybe 200 yards, and then go straight into a farmer's field down a track. That's where you'll see me next, I suppose. Hopefully I'll be able to have some food soon. Here we go, back into the wilderness for the next 4 fields. Not really sure if I'll find anywhere to sit down and have my little bit of food. Because Wilby is quite literally 2 minutes from where I live. It's not far from that side of town. So, finally out of Doddington. Just making my way now through this farmer's track into the field over the A45 again. We're going over it this time, not under it. I'm expecting it to be quite muddy in there, because when I last went through there in the height of summer, it was surprisingly wet and I had to dodge a few puddles. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, it will be absolutely horrendous. So something occurs to me I didn't do on the previous video. I haven't set out my annual goal for what I want to achieve with this channel. You've seen me walk from Trowbridge to Steeple Ashton. You're now watching me walk from where I work the long way home, which is 5.5 miles. My next walk is to Bromham, 17 miles that I've got planned. It's in 3 months, so I've got a few bits and bobs in the way before then that I'll be posting. After that, towards October time, when the weather starts cooling down again, I will be walking to a village called Clophill, which is in central Bedfordshire, about 30 miles away. My brother-in-law has asked me to walk to his house next year in Derby. That's 71 miles away. Yeah, it's going to be hard. So I'm coming into Wilby, you can just see it in the distance. 17th century village named after a willow. Wilby being a namesake for it, an old word for willow in Old English. Big puddle. I said it's going to be pretty manky. Gooey. Yeah, I've given up waiting to try and pass it with a beat, so I've already made a start. Very nice though. I'm expecting the next section to be absolute hell. It's going to walk me through the centre of this field at some point, going down the hill over there and into the village. This is where it gets very muddy and very, very difficult to traverse. Unless I've missed it somewhere, but I don't believe so. It's very difficult to say at this time of year because normally the field is yay high with barley or wheat. So as I initially thought, I was in the wrong field. I thought that was the field I needed to be in. Turns out, no. Just over there is the gate into the final field. And that is the final field, and then we're on the home stretch back to where I live. So here I am, entering the little village of Wilby. As said previously, 17th century village, named after a willow tree.
Once I exited the field, I found myself in this narrow footpath that took me to the main road of Wilby. As I emerged from the path, I noticed that there was a pub on the left-hand side. Still not really have a break on this walk, I did consider going in there for a quick pint. However, being so close to home, I thought better of it.
So in my efforts to try and stop my trousers from getting too muddy, they've fallen out anyway. So they're, yeah, pretty ruined. May I say thank you very much for watching if you stayed to the end. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Please do drop a comment as well for any suggestions for something I could do that's fairly local to the UK at some point. See you later.